neighborhood of Gary, Indiana. AJ, A-Dub, Marco, and Stretch. Keeping it forthright, vulnerable, and... Welcome back. We in full effect. Mass effect. I don't say that because there's a bunch of video game movies that's coming out. Y'all see the trailer for Fallout? I have not played it, but the trailer looks great.
Yeah, I can imagine it being good.
Not yet.
Unlike the one for what was that, BioShock?
Oh.
That trailer looks horrible. This is the Informally Honest Podcast. Four brothers from the middle neighborhood of Gary, Indiana, coming to you to talk about this thing called life. And no matter where we go, and no matter what we talk about, we always going to keep it forthright, vulnerable, and motherfucking honest. Fellas, how's your week going?
Number one in the YouTube streets.
It's a decimal and a whole lot of zeros before that one. But
yeah, number one is all subjective, man.
Construct.
It's a mental construct like race.
More time. For myself, I wanna give the biggest shout out, condolences, and RIP to the God, Akira Toriyama, who passed about a week ago. It was just but it was just announced yesterday.
Finally went Super Saiyan.
Somebody was in my some random person in my comments was like, "Don't worry, they're gonna wish him back with the Dragon Balls next week."
Oh yeah, he over there with what's his name?
With King Kai.
Yeah, training on that little planet.
Gone way too soon. He was only 64.
Yeah, man. Dang, what a legend.
Man, changed the world. He changed the landscape of animation, the video games, of RPGs. Manga, and we I can say for myself, eternally grateful for what Dragon Ball did for my life.
I would say that Dragon Ball pretty much was the bridge to anime for most of our generation.
Absolutely.
Or most people who watch anime, period.
Mm-hmm. Remember going to that video store that used to be in the mall, and what was it? Getting Spanish dubs of Dragon Ball movies, knowing you couldn't understand nothing.
Or shout out to Cartoon Network for
Tsunami helping to build that bridge.
Yeah.
Or even you would hold like Tree of Life in one hand so you could go into the porn section and have like that in front of it. But speaking of gods that's out here showing mercy to peons, Mike Tyson's gonna fight Jake Paul. I don't know how they agreed to this. I don't know what kind of bag Mike is probably going to get from doing this.
Something crazy.
It has to be
crazy.
Because that man's 57.
Because I believe it's going to be in Texas, Vegas? Right? It's going to be in Vegas. I thought it was going to be in Jerry Jones. Big.
It's going to be on Netflix, which is crazy.
Yeah,
that's the wild thing.
About the exclusive.
Oh yeah, they about to make monumental money right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because people have wanted Jake to get knocked out so bad in every fight. I don't know why. I mean, I know why, because it's not as much money in it, and he's about capital. Because I'm going like he just refuses to fight current fighters and
boxers, real
actual boxers. He just refuses to fight them
who are like making a living from being professional boxers right now at their healthy, youthful age.
You know? Yeah, and wouldn't Jake Paul be considered a heavyweight? He's not a
he's a heavyweight
guy. So yeah,
I'm somewhat of a boxing fan.
Okay.
So I'm like, there's a part of me that doesn't like these celebrity fights and these like sideshow fights.
Yeah.
Because it's like takes away from the purity of the actual game. But
What you are is a purist, Marcus. You know what I mean?
in some ways, I am with with some of these art forms. Is like,
Nah, I feel that.
Yeah.
it's like, because Mike Tyson, even though I do want to see him knock out, is it Jake or the
Yeah,
other one?
yeah,
Yeah,
Jake.
Jake.
Yeah.
I want to see him get knocked out, but at the same time, Mike Tyson is very much past his prime, and it's like, if he loses, it's like, well, it's you can still say Jake Paul hasn't really fought anybody, like he hasn't rose through the ranks yet
Right.
of actual boxers. I think he fought one boxer.
Okay.
But
I didn't follow it that closely.
Tommy
but
Fury.
none of them are in their prime or on the come up like him. So it's like, none of them are going to be as hungry as you trying to make it to the top to being a actual pro, because you actually turned pro because you were famous.
Yeah, and it's a whole thing of because he's a content creator or whatever. That's the only reason why he's able to get such high profile fights, is because he's such a celebrity, in quote unquote, and because with the rise of MMA, UFC, all of that, boxing does not make the kind of money that it used to. And
The big
so,
fight,
that's
because
big.
right now some of the fights that are supposed to happen actually happen right now.
mhm,
It just takes a little while. Like Haney is fighting Ryan Garcia,
mhm,
and we just saw Spence and Bud Crawford, which was like one of the biggest fights ever.
okay.
And
But what was
so
the financial pull of it, though?
yeah, it's a lot of money involved when those people who are supposed to fight.
Gotcha.
But sometimes it takes so long that they out of their prime. Like when Pacquiao fought Mayweather,
Right.
both of them dudes were were old, and it's like, well, it was okay. It's nice to see them finally do it, but it's like, it's not. It wasn't the draw it was supposed to be,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't the two fighters we were supposed to see fight. But
Is it?
my bad. Like to the point of like this boxing thing. Like if you're not a real boxer, like we just saw Francis Ngannou, who's a beast in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was like a Nigerian, versus Anthony Joshua, who's like one of the top boxers.
Yeah.
And he knocked him out cold in the second round last night.
Oh,
And it was like he was
that's why I
training with
prefer-
dude was training with Mike Tyson, like he got like hella videos on YouTube of him training with him, but you got to be like really living the boxing life to be legit.
Yeah.
Which I give Jake Paul credit for.
He has been taking it seriously.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, he's not a bad boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's
It started late. I think I'm sorry, Aaron. I say this real quick. I think if he started when he was like 13, 14, like most, he probably would have been all right. But he started in his late 20s. It's like
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he I was gonna say that. Definitely want to put a little respect on his name just because
He put in the work so far.
To some degree. Yeah. I mean, like I wish he would. I want to see like a true test. I want to see him fight somebody who's doing it right now in their prime. Like, you know what I mean? I want to see him rise that way.
Yeah.
Not somebody, not Mike Tyson, who's 30 years, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
older and shit. But
Not
like
it's
at the same time, I know when Mike hits you, even 60, it's gonna hurt. He
yeah,
gonna
we
feel
seen
that
him
shit.
training like
them training
You know what I
videos
mean?
are still
it's no walking
terrifying.
apart.
And
It's no walking apart.
Yo, and speaking of Mike, I remember like I don't know if this was like well before their fight was announced. Mike at some point was actually saying that he was good for boxing in the sense of he's opening up to a wider audience because people were like complaining, and Mike was like, "Well, I think Jake is actually good because he's putting more eyes and more opportunities and money into boxing." And people were like, "Well, everybody else was doing it too back in the day," and he was like, "No, boxing was helping you. Jake Paul is actually helping boxing." And he was looking at it from that perspective. So I do want to say that maybe like that might have something to do with this, I think this was at least a year ago anyway when they were in an interview talking about it. But
yeah,
it seems like Mike was understanding of this whole scene.
Yeah, they asking
back
him
then.
about fighting him. They asking him about fighting him a while ago.
Because they've been talking for at least for years about like at least answering
no
the folks have been asking him the question anyway.
No
but
doubt,
I say all that to say I put respect on Jake's name, but I do want to see him get knocked out, man. It's just too, you know what I mean? It feels it's too delicious. It's a delicious thought.
He kind of trolled the whole boxing for a while.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But he fought his way into the fight at this point.
Like if you troll and you talk that much shit and all the antics, it makes people want to see you get knocked out more, man.
Mm-hmm.
You just, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna happen.
he's playing the perfect wrestling like bad guy, I guess you could say. Like,
yeah.
But he just keeps winning. Like, damn, man, dude.
But it's another out. If he wins this fight, we could just say, well, he fought an old ass dude.
Yeah, it's like he fought an old man.
Well, I was gonna say that, right? I was gonna say that. So I watched this interview. Somebody was asking Oscar De La Hoya
Mike Tyson
about it.
Old. Man.
No, 30 years. Yeah. I mean, Stephen A. Smith was talking about his disgust, and he was saying that how like recently, a year ago,
this
Stephen
is
A.
disgusting.
Smith Stephen A. was talking about how like a year ago, folks were watching Mike Tyson walk in to go see some fight or something, and he was walking with a cane. He was like, I don't want to see somebody a year prior who was walking into an arena with a cane fighting somebody 30 years younger than them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that doesn't make you a boxer. Like that was his excuse, and it's a legit excuse. I didn't know Mike had a fucking cane.
Yeah, he gonna be off of edibles, man.
You know what I mean? Like it is crazy. Like I know what is outside of money when people present Jake with that argument. I wonder what his response is when people say he is 30
You just
years
gonna
older.
hype him up like we're talking about Mike Tyson, man. Like, have you seen his highlights?
And Mike can fuck some people up still. Mike can still fuck people up even at 60, but
yeah, dude's on the plane and stuff.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's gonna be. I feel like if that was to happen, it's gonna be, folks will he will be reminded that the motherfucker was 60 years old and a year prior was walking with a fucking cane.
Like, but I guess
at some point he's gonna have to meet somebody his age who's actually has a boxing background.
Yeah. And I don't think he's doing it for any kind of bragging rights, if that makes sense. Like I don't think
you're talking about Mike Tyson.
No, I'm talking about Jake. Like I it would be wild and just dumb. Maybe this is me. For him, let's say he wins the fight, to be like, I beat Floyd, I beat Mike, I beat all y'all legends. I'm the greatest. Like
I mean, trolls. They're gonna say they're gonna use that technically. That's exactly what they're gonna do. Like they just gonna say, well, technically, I beat the best boxers you ever heard of.
Yeah, and then it'd be like, well, technically that was 30 years later. You know what I mean? Technically, Mike had a cane the year before y'all fought. You know what I mean? Technically, how technical are we getting? You know what I mean? Come on, man. This motherfucker, pumping fucking Robitussin every.
Now speaking of. Let's get into these rules and pretty much handicaps that Jake is getting. And this is all speculation. I've tried to look for the articles where these things were announced, but I couldn't find anything. So I'm just going based on what I heard.
Can't hit him in the head or something.
So, first one I remember, I think I remember everything that was said. Jake gets to wear protective gear.
Oh, no, that's ridiculous. Game over then. Fuck that. Shut it down, man.
Nobody want to see that.
Crazy.
Yeah, not at all. Jake gets to wear protective gear and Mike doesn't.
He's 60.
Yeah, that's crazy. He need to protect his brain, man.
Mike's had so many times.
And that's what I'm saying.
I know.
If all of these things are true, this is why I'm like, I can't give this fight any kind of credence.
No one's gonna if these are true.
He better not wear no headgear.
No one's gonna respect that fight. No one's gonna respect any Jake Paul.
Unless they both wear. If they both wear it, fine. But
that's different.
Right. What was the
still get rocked though?
That's what I'm saying. But they both gotta wear it if anyone can wear it.
Mike has to do a weigh-in and Jake doesn't.
Yeah,
so
I don't
Jake
think
can
that matters.
Jake can be as heavy as he wants to be, but Mike has to meet the 165 or whatever.
So they fighting at like light heavyweight or something.
I'm not sure what it is, and I could be wrong about that number, but whatever the weight class that they're supposed to be in, Mike has to meet that weight, but Jake doesn't.
Because heavyweight not supposed to have a limit, I don't think. But
okay. Then what was the third one? It was weigh-in. Oh, this is the most egregious one to me. Jake can tag in Logan.
Yeah, that's not okay. These aren't real. These aren't real. Somebody's being funny.
That's
man.
not a real boxing.
That can't be real.
Yeah. Logan's like, I'm good, man.
So he could just gas him out. He could just try to gas him out.
They said Jake could tag in Logan, and if they wanted, he could fight at the same time.
Yeah, come on, man. Yo, this is
fucking Dragon Ball Z, real, man.
This is Dragon Ball Z on Netflix. This is Dragon Ball Z.
I was taking it seriously until you said that stuff. I'm not. I can't take it that serious, man.
Not at all.
They trying to kill this man.
Yo, Logan barely
try to end his life, not his career.
Logan could barely. I mean, he didn't beat, but like Logan could barely even take on Mayweather, who's who's 150 pounds lighter than him.
Why would he agree to them silly rules?
It can't be real, man. I can't.
I just thought it was fucking funny.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It is.
It's a tag team match, intercontinental tag team champion.
I feel like if those were real, motherfuckers would be going crazy.
Do we want to see these two white men gang jump an old black man? I don't care how deadly
That's what it is. Something racial behind this thing.
Yeah, I feel like if those were real, Stephen A. Smith would have been, already going in.
Already. There's no way he's letting that go by.
He can tag in. Brother, that's hilarious, bro.
So he should be able to tag in somebody, Evander Holyfield or somebody.
Yeah.
Lennox Lewis. Is he still
Lennox? Yeah, he'll tear them up.
Yeah.
Did anybody beat him besides Lennox Lewis?
Who, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah. He got beat.
And Holyfield, right?
Yeah, Buster Douglas.
Okay.
Was the first one, I think. Nobody expected that one.
He didn't lose though till like later in his career, right? Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I saw something
not U.S. born.
Huh?
Where's Buster Douglas from?
I think he from the U.S. I'm not sure.
Okay. Maybe I misheard what Adam asked.
Lennox Lewis was at the end of his career.
Right.
No, I was saying like he didn't. Mike Tyson. I was asking. He didn't lose till later in his career.
Later in his career.
Well, Buster Douglas was pretty much still Mike Tyson then. So that was like his legit win, a legit loss. I mean, for him.
Okay.
Yeah, it happens.
I remember watching the Lennox Lewis fight, but I don't watch that much boxing. But I do remember watching that fight.
Yeah, he had crazy reach.
Yeah.
Which fight was it when like still in the ring? I think they had a short interview. Mike Tyson was talking about like I just don't have it in me. Like he was just acknowledging like I don't have that killer instinct anymore. Like I don't.
I think it was Lennox Lewis.
I think that was Lennox Lewis
because he was like, yo, I just don't want to. I don't want to. Essentially, I don't have that killer instinct anymore. He was just straight up about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
in the ring.
Man, his highlights is crazy. He got a crazy highlight reel. That man, he's dangerous.
Yeah. And as much as he didn't like it, the show with a home dude from Moonlight was really good.
Oh,
I don't know if y'all ever watched it. It's called Mike. It's on Hulu.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that yet.
No, I never seen it yet. But the previews look good.
Home dude that played the oldest version of Chiron in Moonlight, and he was in that new Tyler Perry movie, I think, Mea Culpa. Which I've heard
is why I didn't know about it. Yeah, that's why.
A lot of people been talking about that. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about it. I was never gonna watch it, but that dude.
I gotta like, as much as I. Yeah.
What?
I'm a movie lover, but the second I hear Tyler Perry,
I don't
you know
think
what I
those
mean?
two are
It's mainly as soon as I
have
hear
much to
Tyler,
do with each other.
as soon as I hear Tyler Perry wrote it, I go, "Oh God, no."
Yeah. I'm like, oh my bad. What'd you say? It's
Much as
that
I
way
want to
every
see
time.
Kelly Rowland fine ass do something, and I heard
Oh,
she got a
she in it?
sex scene, but I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah.
man, I can't,
Yeah,
can't
I'm
do
open. I'm open to that now. Actually, I'm sorry.
it. I'd rather straighten out the hat.
Oh no, I remember.
Don't mind if I do.
That's funny.
Nah. So, any last thoughts on this before we move on?
I mean, I guess we'll
We'll see you in July.
yeah, I guess we'll see in July. Shit. Man.
I know Mike Tyson going to be training hard, but can't take them years off.
No, you
I
can't.
know. Dang, dude. Yeah, this was unexpected, but
We'll see.
we'll see. Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know who y'all want to put your bets on, but let's get into some casino goss. Apparently, Aaron found this article about a young woman in Queens, New York. She's playing penny slots. She gets a big jackpot for 33 mil.
Ching ching.
She comes back the next day to get the full calculation of her winnings, and they were like, "Nah, we don't know what you're talking about."
What you mean? We don't even remember.
Yeah.
We don't remember that.
We don't remember
Who's
that.
phone?
And what they really said was that was clearly a malfunction because it makes no sense that you would win $33 million on a penny slot. And to help was it to help you cope with this misunderstanding, how about we offer you a nice steak dinner? We can't promise you A5, but we can promise it's beef. So
They won.
oh, that's such a better joke. Damn
That's great.
it. Oh
I'll
damn.
be here all week.
Sorry, I did not think of
All right. We're a team.
And so a year later, she sues the casino for grievances and stress for thinking that her life had changed, and they settled out of court for the malfunction. We don't know for how much. So first question: what you doing in that scenario?
I'm gonna celebrate first.
Yeah, yeah. In that scenario, I am not waiting until a year later to sue.
Yeah.
That's what I'm not doing. I'm not waiting a year.
I'm sure that it took a year to build the case.
Yeah,
You
no.
know how in stores when they have the wrong tag there, but they still have to honor it.
That's what I was gonna say, bro. Like,
come on,
you
man,
can't
you
get
gotta
like
honor what the thing says.
what the machines.
It's not my fault. If it says 3 million, I put the money in. If it's malfunctioning, you fix it after me. But
you know what though? It's a
gotta honor what it says.
And it
it's
said
a
33
dollar
million.
limit on that. It's a dollar limit on that, right? Because at the store it'd be like, all right, this shirt was $30 and now it's 15. Yeah, fuck it, just take it for 15. It's a
Yeah.
it's a,
But
it's a
if it's
money limit on
$30
that. At the
and you
casino,
getting it
when it's
for
33 million, no, we need to investigate further. You can't, you know what I mean?
but even for that shirt, it's like, oh, it says it's $30, but you saying it's $625. We might need to.
Yeah.
So,
So
me
clearly the
personally,
customer
I
isn't
am
always
going.
right.
Me personally, I am going like, well, I know that can't be true. I'm still gonna make a fuss. I'm making a scene the instant that they say that I shouldn't get that money because I'm like, fuck out of here. What y'all talking about? There's a disclaimer on the machine saying if there's a malfunction, then it voids all games and prizes. Well, bitch, prove it's a malfunction.
Literally,
exactly.
Why have
because
it
you
there?
Could just
then?
say that when somebody
you know
wins,
I mean?
you could be like, "Yeah, that's another malfunction right there." Whenever somebody win big,
some dude has his fucking finger like a half an inch away from the malfunction button. He just waiting for the next person.
Yeah, they just put their hand on a secret button or something. Like, oh, you see, it says malfunction right there.
Oh, we got fresh meat coming by the penny slots. Oh shit!
You could just say that at any point.
Hit the malfunction button.
Yeah. Oh, that motherfucker celebrate. Hit the button. Hit the button. Hit the button.
Hey, put that steak dinner on the burner. Go get that steak dinner real quick.
Like the game
they look hungry.
Oh, this motherfucker want beef. Oh, he want beef. Let's get it.
He want beef.
Did they offer? Did they offer the steak dinner like at the moment, or like, hey, come on back and just
so it's a whole thing.
That's crazy.
I guess when you make wins that big, you can't take winning same day. Like they gotta do like full calculations, whatever. So when she came back to collect her winnings, based on the calculation, they were like, nah, but we got this New York strip for you.
But that's real crazy, because these casinos, if you become a member with them, they'll give you like a free buffet and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's like they're gonna give you that for free anyway. That's crazy.
But here's the thing: I don't know if that's universal for all casinos. Maybe that's just some Vegas shit. I didn't even know there were casinos in Queens, which sounds suspect to me. But
yeah, that's funny.
Queensbridge.
So like, yeah, I don't know. Adam, what you doing?
I mean, I guess I'm gonna try to give up what I can. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna get the 33 million, because I mean, I've been in situations where, I thought I could cash, not like from winnings or anything, but like maybe a restaurant, mess up an order, maybe this. I can't even get anything out of that situation. So
yeah,
I can't imagine a casino, offering anything, but I would try it. Like for me, like I always think about like way back in the day, like when I worked at Popeyes in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we ever messed up somebody's order, if somebody had to wait like a crazy long time, we would always try to give them, extra drink, extra chicken, something. But now it's like, and I'm not trying to, it's like a back in my day, but it does seem like these days, like if your order is jacked up, they give you your order, like what you order, and they just send you on your way. There's no, sorry about that, sorry about the wait, sorry about the inconvenience. They just be like, hey, here's nothing. Yeah. I'm like, dang, okay. Like I remember, there's a Charlie's out here, the sandwich place, the Philly steak, whatever.
Yeah.
And we just ordered sandwiches and fries to go with the sandwich, but they left the fries out, and I'm like, man, so I had to drive back, which is not far, but the principle of the convenience.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, I just know they're gonna give me something, but sure enough, I just got the single fry in the back, not one fry, but the order of fries, whatever. But anyway, to go back to the casino thing, I would just try to get as much of it as I can. Like, even if I can't get, I mean, I know I'm not gonna get 33 million, but I know like off camera, I was saying like, I mean, just give me 1% of what was it, 42 million, I think.
42 million pounds or euros, whichever one that symbol is.
Yeah, so 42 million US. Yeah, it was 33.
No, it was 33 million US. Oh no, wait.
Yeah, 33 million pounds. I mean, euros or pounds or whatever, which equated to 42.9 million US.
You sure that's not the other way around? Because the pound and the euro are worth more than US currency.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the article.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody fucked up in the title of it for sure.
Gotcha.
But I mean, I'll just say this: like, whether it was 33 million, 42 million, or even 3 million, I would still be happy with 1% of that.
Yeah, for sure.
The one time people are happy about the 1%.
Yeah, because like 1% of 42 million is what? Isn't that 4.2 million?
4.2, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, or give me a
your
half, 2
crown.
point whatever, 2.1.
Now I'm
Send
not
me
gonna
over.
lie. If I know I only spent 33 cents up to that point,
Yeah,
give me 3,300 and I'll be fine.
yeah, that too. I'll just start high. We can work our way down there.
Like that profit margin on that is still fantastic.
Insane. Yeah, basically free money.
How much
Either way
did
you
she
look at
play?
it, couldn't
Yeah.
have been much.
Marco, what
Well,
kind of shit you stirring?
I'm trying to get that 30. I'm trying to get what is advertised at first.
Advertise.
I
hey,
need
what
to
you owe?
lawyer up, get the best lawyers in in Queens.
Hold on, this will
But
change something. Now, hold on. This will change something. Hold on. 10% of 42 million is 4.2 million. So
Oh
if
yeah.
you
oh
want
yeah.
that, if you want 1%, it's gonna be
Oh
like
yeah,
Oh,
it's
you're
gonna be
right.
like
My bad.
400. It's gonna be
You're
like
right.
six
okay,
figures, but I'll still take six figures
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. I'm
Well,
taking
is
six
this?
figures for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
certainly don't have it now, so I can certainly use it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. My bad, Marco.
Yeah, man. I'm just trying to get, I guess just trying to get as much as I can, but I'm trying to find some type of technical, fine print. I'm trying to find some outs. Cause like I said, like they shouldn't be able to just call it a malfunction. I mean,
Right.
they have tech people who walk around and supposed to fix the machines and work on them and do what they're supposed to do. So it's like if if you're not running this place correctly, then you need to take that hit, man. Like
Yeah.
now, maybe they gave her the max that the slot can give, which
Nah,
would
because I'm pretty sure they only gave it like $25.
wait. How you know? I thought they settled.
No, I'm saying they settled out of court
Right,
with
right.
the original thing that they said. They was like, oh yeah,
Uh
we tried to give her like the 2570 that would have been the equivalent of what her winnings should have been having put that much
oh.
in, something like that.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay. Yeah, that's a hard one, man, because it's like one of them fake scratch offs that you thought you were the big winner, and
Hmm.
but when the emotional distress and that stuff comes into play, the lawyers are known to work some magic. So
They love that angle, man, for sure.
yeah, hey, you could you
Because
could get
like
some you could
it's
get some big money off of that.
yeah, dog. Because
If you
in
got the
that
right
regard,
lawyers.
for sure, it's hard to argue against that. It's really hard to prove that I wasn't emotionally distressed.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's really, really hard to fucking prove. If I
You
can
could
make
Yeah.
say
myself
like
cry, you're gonna have a
I
field
like
day.
quit my job and you gotta compensate me for that.
Right.
Yeah.
That stuff starts adding up.
If I got kids and we thought we was about to change our lives,
Yeah.
let's move out of squalor.
For sure. Hey, my question to him is gonna be like, at one point, if you are using the excuse that you have a label on this machine that's prone to malfunction on this machine, at what point do you have to just shut this machine down and it's no longer able to
Yeah.
be used? At one point, is it okay? Do we have to force you to shut this fucking machine down? Because
That's what
clearly y'all are wild. Like, this is crazy.
I was gonna say a lot
I'm
of people
starting
gonna start
there.
going to that machine. Like that's gonna be a very popular machine after
Hmm.
after this. Like which
But
one you
like,
was at? Like this the one where what's it? Kathy won. The fake 32. They'll give you something, they'll pay out.
yeah, the
You just
thing
gotta
that
smack
throws
it
me
on the
off,
side real like five
like
times.
the thing that like throws me off is how casinos are basically allowed to do what they want. Like,
Pretty
if, like for
much.
example, like if you win too much, they can just be like, you can't come back, and that's completely
Yeah.
like that's completely in the rules. Or like whether it's physical casinos, whether it's sports books, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're winning more than they want you to, they can be like, all right, you're cut off.
Shut it down. Right.
Yeah.
That should be illegal. It's like it just because they have no issues with you going there
and losing.
Yeah, you could go there every week and spend your whole paycheck, and they're like, "We'll see you next week, sir." But if you're doubling your paycheck every week, they're gonna make sure you don't come back.
Sure, yo. It should be on them to like give these motherfuckers who clearly figured out a way to win, give them a bigger challenge. Like if y'all are sick of motherfuckers winning, then fucking ante up the software. Make it harder until the next person come. Like make it harder for somebody to figure out your shit. You know?
Well,
like it's crazy.
I feel like if someone's winning, they're winning. I mean, the fact is you're probably still making a ridiculous amount of people from the 99% of people that aren't winning. The fact of the matter is most people aren't winning like that anyway. So
the casinos are gonna win regardless. It's gonna be profitable. They're gonna find a way for I mean, the only time I ever heard a casino shutting down is when somebody else buy them out. Like they make money.
Trump the only person who could lose a casino.
Oh, go ahead, my bad.
I was just saying Trump is the only person that can bankrupt a casino.
He pretty much cashed out.
Is it safe to say he trumped it? Okay.
How beneficial are casinos to the city and or state that they get put in?
Probably not at all.
That's a good question.
I wonder just because people treat casinos like they're supposed to, you know, like how people treat like Olympic stadiums where they're like, oh, this is going to bring more commerce into our city, yada yada yada. Because I think about, you know, like Hard Rock, that's over on Bird now and Gary. Yeah. I'm like, is this helping Gary at all? Because y'all are bringing major acts and very, 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 very retired acts.
I think Bill Burr is there. I believe it's today, honestly.
Yeah, it's supposed to be sometime soon. It might have happened. But like I said, they're bringing major acts, and then like the next day they're gonna bring fucking Tim Allen.
Yeah, you're right. It's like some bands you hadn't heard of since late '90s,
right? But some like whoever the current living people,
that's
still
true.
The Eagles, like it's
yeah.
The band formerly known as.
So I'm going like, how is it? Is it really helping Gary? Because no one's coming here and spending money other places.
I mean, that one gas station next to it.
It's always truck stop. And it's probably owned by the fucking casino owners too.
The Philly steak place, they're thriving.
They do got
they got some fire food in there.
Them Phillies are honestly fucking fantastic.
So you guys know that they're building a new casino in Chicago, Bally's.
Like Total
Maybe no. Yeah, well, it's the same. It's the same. Whatever. They actually own
building ones everywhere. It's like there's one in Harvey right there that they built.
Yeah. So like they've built our company was actually part of the temporary build because this is how much money casinos make. Because when I was hearing the verbiage, so they we helped build a temporary casino for Bally's, but they're building the real thing.
Yeah.
So the temporary casino was like $40 million, and then the real casino was like I don't know, like 200 something.
Like that, yeah.
So I'm like, wait a minute, y'all got the money to spend $40 million on a temporary thing. How much money is that gonna? If it's I'm like, how much money is it gonna bring in if you're spending that much money on a temporary casino?
Right.
And people are very willing to lose their money. I'm like,
So are you saying it's a temporary casino in the same space that the new one's gonna be?
No, so the temporary is wherever it is. It's somewhere maybe on Michigan. It's somewhere downtown-ish. I don't even know where it is. So is wherever the official one is going to be. It's not even in the same place. So they renovated a space,
and they're putting it legitimately in the city, like not like.
Damn. Hopefully they use that shit for something else after. Damn. I have to look at it from the perspective of like waste. What the fuck is gonna happen after the temporary casino goes?
Well, I mean, it's Chicago. They'll make it something else because
Something,
they
yeah.
they didn't build a building, so like they renovated
Oh
a
yeah.
already existing structure. So I'm sure when it's done, they'll just or some other casino company might just buy it and then make it
Oh
blah blah blah
yeah,
blah
Yeah.
blah
it's right
casino.
off the
True.
Magma.
Yep.
They
Uh,
already building one
yeah,
like
on Wabash
further
between
south.
Ontario and Ohio. It's right off the Magma.
Yeah.
Right.
So is that
Yeah,
where they're building a new one, or is that where the temporary one is right
that's
now?
where it currently is. I don't think it
Okay.
says whether or not it's the temporary or the real one.
Okay. Yeah, because people might not
I'm
even know
assuming
that.
it. Yeah, I'm assuming it's a temporary because it already has a 3.8 rating.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. And and that blew my mind. I'm like, a temporary casino. I'm like, what? But yeah, there you go.
they,
They probably already
Man.
made the money back.
I'm sure they
It's
made the
only,
money back already.
it's only been because we finished there
Wow.
like a few months ago, maybe like 2, 3 months, 3, 4 months ago.
That's wild.
So yeah.
Well, Josh, in regards to your question, that's a good question. I'm like the only thing I can think of is a situation in Washington when I was living there. Well, your question about like, does it actually do good to the community?
Yeah.
Um, the only thing I could think of, and this is still not maybe good for everybody, but well, it depends. Anyway, point blank period. It's as I understand it, a lot of the Native Americans, because there's like there's still reservation-ish situations there. And I think they're buying back a lot of the land and building casinos. So technically it's good for the folks who were there before, shit was stolen and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, I can like they're buying it back. I'm not sure if it's also gonna all like the land they're buying back is gonna become reservation land. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's good for it's good for the community as a whole and like the Native American community as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just thinking of situations where it could actually be benefit. I can't think of
Yeah,
anything outside of that. And like, is it
because I
beneficial to everybody, or is it just
owners.
Yeah, it's good for
the folks
yeah,
buying it and
investors.
like yeah, and like so I guess they're able to put back more in their community after so much was lost. But
Yeah, I definitely
otherwise,
think it's different for the
it's hard to
Indian
say. Yeah.
casinos. I think it's different for the native casinos versus just conglomerate casinos.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I forget who I was talking to, but I remember somebody talking about like the benefit it was going to be to Gary for them to build that Hard Rock because Horseshoe was getting all of that money. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, but have you been to Hammond?
Yeah, like yeah. That for me, like I never understand that logic when something's coming to town, whether it's an Amazon facility, whether it's a blah blah
Right.
blah, whether it's doesn't even matter. They always say it's gonna benefit because it's gonna bring jobs. I mean, I hate to break it to you, but a bunch of $12 an hour jobs has never changed
Has never.
Well,
anybody's life
well, the
that
jobs
drastic.
are not bad though. The jobs are
Yeah.
Okay.
better than yeah.
But that
Okay.
money's still not.
Well,
The issue is
Yeah.
like infrastructure wise, even if you are employing a lot of people in that area, that doesn't mean that that money is necessarily going back into that area since they earned it. And so
Yeah.
it's that whole like that group economics philosophy thing where you're like, if the money doesn't circulate within that community 5, 6, 12 times, the community's never going to see any reaction to it.
True. That's really like an education thing, a financial education thing too.
I
Like,
think that go ahead, go ahead.
no, I mean that was pretty
Okay.
much it. Yeah.
I think in order for like the community to benefit, they will have to pair the casino with build something close to the casino that has some type of value that somebody wants. Because
Mm-hmm.
the people are the draw, they're gonna be there. Now you have to present something that's useful.
Mm.
Because I mean, you just got gas stations. I mean, now put something next to it that's useful. Then we can talk about it.
that's a good idea,
Yeah,
actually.
for
Because
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Go ahead, Adam.
No, I was saying because if all you have are things that basically take your money, like you said, like a what do you call it, like a casino, gas stations, Taco Bell, whatever else is up
I
in there.
mean, the gas station gonna level up. It's just
I'm
people
sure.
need that. People need it. They're gonna stop there and they're gonna buy useless stuff and they're gonna buy gas. So the gas station gonna come up, but what else you gonna offer?
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think did y'all hear that? I could be very wrong. This could be wild, but I think that um dang, what did I hear about like gas gas stations make more like it actually helps gas stations when you buy food and other stuff, not just gas.
Oh
That's
yeah,
how
I'm
they
sure.
Yeah.
shit like that. So that
but you
part
say
I
help.
always I'm yeah, like something about gas stations it helps gas stations actually make a profit when you buy something other than just gas. And that might just be
Well, I
because
mean,
the
I'm not
price
trying to
of
help them make a
whatever,
profit now.
you know.
the most
But
profitable thing that you can buy, I mean, someone can buy from your business is like drinks and snacks and stuff. So it's like, yeah. And then they put it there and they look good,
yeah, yeah.
chips.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like it's gotta be like a fucking why can't you who clearly let's say these businesses coming in and you are economic minded and you obviously want to make a profit and do well, then find a way to have an outreach situation where you can also give other people the financial education that you got and are getting in some way to some degree um, to help motherfuckers come up, you know? Like the same, make it make that a part of your business model where you're helping people learn to save and invest or something who otherwise might not, even if they're making low money, help anyone who's making any amount of money can still save $5 or a dollar, something, just getting them in that mindset of not just living with the mindset of seeing where you are and thinking that's the only option. Yeah, I feel like some sort of outreach should be a part of if you're making all this money off of this fucking community, the least you could do is teach them the game in a way.
You would
Yeah,
think,
they're not,
but
not gonna do that.
I mean, yeah.
it's like they ain't no loyalty with a lot of these businesses in the community they happen to be in.
I thought we were just fantasizing, you know. You know,
It's
Right.
like I always think of like businesses, like and it doesn't even matter what the business is. It can be, Valleys, it could be Hard Rock, it could be Millhouse Construction, the company I work for. It's like I always look at it like whoever owns those companies, or
Allegedly.
the or the people that own it, typically is more than one person, but like everybody that shows up to that job for work is like, although they are paying their bills or trying to pay their bills, ultimately
Right.
the only reason why they're there is to make the people up top money. You're like when you go to work every day, you're helping someone else live their dream, basically. So like a long time ago, someone started Hard Rock, casino because they wanted to make a living from owning a casino. But in order to do that, they had to hire a bunch of people. So it's like I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense or if that
Yeah, that's why we got
is
unions to
yeah.
make sure the
It's
people getting what they deserve and somewhat.
Right.
yeah.
and that's
So I
why
guess
I'm saying, like, sorry, I don't know.
no, I guess I was saying that to say like as far as like the whole casinos go is like I guess that's what I was saying like that's not gonna happen like when Aaron like you were saying like if they're gonna make money off people they should at least try to you know teach or but it's like the fact of the matter is though like that's probably the last thing they want people that are not financially literate that's probably their favorite customers because they're going to come in there and spend and spend and spend but I don't even know what point I'm making. I
And
just
you're right.
No,
There's a lot of you're
I
right because
feel
there's a
you.
lot of older people that live in Gary or whatever community they come to. There's a lot of old people that just come in there and just gonna spend all their Social Security money and try to win something. I mean, they don't have nothing else to do. They don't they don't have nothing to spend their money on. They don't want to help their family out, I guess. Trying to win big, see what they can do with it.
And that's the thing too. Like
Give
it's
it
also
right
like
to 'em.
even it's also the community in and of itself too. If it's full of people who are old, an older generation who wasn't as financially literate as others, you know what I mean, who didn't know very much, then they're not going to teach their family. They're not going to, no one taught them. So it's like, it'd be nice if the fucking businesses could do it. But I also trying to keep in mind, like, I understand how much, I'm understanding of how much it costs to have employees as well. And to like, to health insurance and all these things are thousands of dollars just for one individual, I get that, but I still think that should be, and this and this is about to like piss folks off because we get so many comments and shit and feedback. but it should be built in, or like, no, that's you have to show you have to show, how much, okay, in your business model, how much game are you giving back to the people? How much game are you giving back to the people, man? I know it costs a lot and shit, but like, even to a small degree, like how much game are you giving back? Or at least are you creating opportunities for folks? If you go, because like usually, especially if you're going into a situation like Gary, where it's not like they're not up to par by some people's standards anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's harder already for folks. So the least you could do is just get them to where it's more fair, or add to the opportunities. It'd be different if like you went to a fucking, Beverly Hills or some shit where everybody's already living rich and wealthy and whatever, financially, whatever. The opportunities seem like they're much more there. There's I know folks are gonna be like, no, we don't want the government in our fucking business making decisions and all that. I get it. I might not want the government forcing this shit down my throat. I'm like a small business owner, and I'm in my first year or two and failing. I don't want the government saying you need to also do this. I'm like, with what money? you know? But
I mean,
anyway,
you can make that stipulation in it, just being like, if your company reaches a 5-year mark with this level of, profit, sans community engagement, then you're required to prove that you've done such and such for so many hours, etc.
Exactly. Like, and especially if they can come up with a data to be like, this is how much the community has brought to you and given to you. We see it. We see it based on the like the demographic in this community. We can see that based on the data that they clearly gave you this much business. The least you could do, because I don't even think every community wants to be like a fucking Beverly Hills or every other rich community, whatever. They want opportunity though, for sure.
Yeah, not necessarily, but that also is going to would involve a bit of how should I say, like positive community oversight that hasn't really existed. Example I can give is like why, not saying this is the case anymore, but at one point in the midst of, the major redlining eras and whatnot, Chinese food restaurants didn't exist in suburban neighborhoods because when they were given those loans to open those restaurants, they was exclusively told you have to open these in Black and brown neighborhoods, knowing that that money wasn't going to get circulated in that community. It was just going to go back to them that opened it. At the same time, people who were trying, Black and brown people who were trying to open businesses in those communities weren't granted loans. And so we can talk about, demographics and all those kind of things. And like I said, those practices aren't necessarily the same these days, and not much better, but they're not the same. It would require institutional reworking to a scale that motherfuckers ain't gonna do.
Yes. All right. So yes, there's definitely some, I guess setting aside and hoping for the best that there is more fairness and equality in
Hope.
the
Hope
world.
no.
All right. All right. Setting aside that shit that like is gonna take more than 10, 15 years, since it's institutionalized. Um, giving people teaching folks the game on how to spend money, how to save money, how to make money work for you in so many different ways
Yeah.
can some to some degree show that you have a financial literacy that makes banks if they're fair and looking objectively take you more serious because of your past experience with credit, with money, with this and that. They're looking at that. If they're looking at it fairly, you teaching them the game can help them get these loans and all of that shit.
Agreed.
Wait, hold on. We can't expect the casino to teach random people how to secure their families for the future. We can't. That's not realistic.
That's
and frankly, honestly, honestly, if I was starting a business, regardless of what it was, it would kind of suck if they were expecting me to be like, all right, now you're starting this whatever
just
business.
gonna go
Now you got to
somewhere
teach
else.
your customer. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
I
honestly the state governments, the local government should be more responsible when they do let casinos come in. Like, just be like, no, just not let them come in at all. Just be like, because this is gonna ruin the blah 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 blah. Or they could be like, we'll take care of fixing up the areas. We're not gonna expect,
You to do it.
Hard Rock to come in, because these people at Hard Rock probably aren't even have nothing to do with Indiana. Like, they probably just
true.
just
True,
pop the casino down. Like, all right, this seems like a good place.
I assure you, they wanted to put that
Definitely did.
casino right there where that because that one church used to be there. That rock was also in the name of. I can't remember what it was, but that church used to be there right off of Burr and the highway, and they put it there because I'm sure the property value is much lower than it would have been if they tried to put it in Illinois.
It's a great spot. It's close
But it's
to
close enough to Illinois.
close to
It's right on
Chicago.
the highway, so
Right
people
on the
can easily
highway.
get to it, and it's attractive to all of these acts that will come do casino shows because I'm sure it's cheaper for them to present their shows than taking it all the way to Chicago Theater or even Horseshoe.
You got to mess with Chicago, but still call it pretty much Chicago.
Like well, they do. From what I've seen, they do promote those shows, being like, yeah, I got a show in Gary
or Northern Indiana, as
Northern Indiana, right?
like the sign says. Like, really, you can say
Like
Gary?
they don't say Chicagoland area. Like, I think that's probably like contractually a thing they do have to say is like they're at least saying Northwest Indiana or whatever. Because every time I've seen a comic go there, because I almost tried to go see Schultz there. I wanted to go see the Bird show, but I think I was out of town when it happened. Yeah, like,
hey man, look, they got to give out scholarships or something. It should be that, you know what I mean? It should be something. It should be
I'm not
something.
saying it shouldn't
If
be.
you
I
making
agree
this
with
shit,
you.
I
was
agree.
yesterday.
But I agree with Adam, and that's where the beef's gonna be. Is like the government ain't about to put no, you know what I mean? Like I get it. It's the same shit people are arguing about. We don't want socialism. We don't want the government putting their hands in everything. I wouldn't either. I'm just saying, if we're seeing how much money you're taking from the community and we're not seeing any return outside of a $10 an hour job or whatever, I need to know how much is it balanced based on what we're rising, we're helping you level up. Are you helping the community level up? Is it balanced in any way?
I was like,
That's all.
balance is
And I
this
know
is
I'm
not an
talking
even
like
scale.
but like I just don't see why that's not a thing. And I'm sure there are some companies in the world who are doing that. I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure they are. So the
Yeah,
point
I'm
is,
not saying they don't exist. I'm
if they
saying
can do it,
capitalism does
if
not
they can
allow
do it, then
balance.
then other people can do it as well. What I'm saying is, if it's possible, and other people are showing that it's possible, then it can be done. That's all I'm saying. I'm not, I know they ain't. No one business owner is responsible for feeding motherfuckers' family in college. And of course, but like, you telling me you can't. You can do something to balance the skills, even if it's not to the same degree, like economically. You can make yourself known in the community.
I'm not saying that they. I don't think it's a. I don't think it's a can't.
It's a won't. You're
Equivalency.
saying
It's a won't. It's a won't.
Yeah. I'm just fantasizing, man. I just can't get off that fucking topic. Like, I'm like, yo, my mind is like, man, what can they do though? What can they do?
It's like two things. Like, there are some morally conscious companies, but I would say though they're usually in places where in whatever field they're in is not that competitive, and they can afford financially to do that. And on the other hand, like the city that's involved, like if you look at Gary, we're not in a position where that's a viable option. So they're just gonna probably
accept everything.
Yeah, they probably said yes to the first offer of Hard Rock. Like, yeah, whatever you want to do. Like, you know, we're not in a very advantageous position with the business negotiations.
I feel that, bro, but that's not the. I agree with that, but what I'm saying is, if we should be able to look at the data and see how much the community is getting from you, and then the opposite, and see some sort of return there. That's all I'm saying. And I don't care how much money I don't care if it's all right, we're barely getting by. Okay, well, what can you're clearly looking to see what the community can do for you to keep you afloat, and you're clearly looking for a better business strategy. Every business is always looking to like level up. I need to see a little bit of reciprocation.
I think places who may be more willing to do that type of thing is like probably educational institutions and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure IU has worked with the community in them sort of ways.
Yeah, sure. But we're talking about a completely for-profit business.
Yeah.
They not about to show how much money they lost by bringing in Smokey Robinson to sing his current album, Gavin. Like, they're not gonna tell us. They're not gonna tell us what kind of income rather distribution they about to do.
I'm over here, bro. I know my mind is on it. Like, man, what are the fucking question you asked like 3 hours ago and shit? My mind is on. I know, bro. It's like these fucking. It's like if a casino is fucking somehow polluting Lake Michigan even a little bit, they should have it in their thing to, one, try to stop that, obviously, but two, you have to organize and put money towards beach cleanups and shit like that.
Maybe they could offer the citizens steak dinners.
Yeah. Hey, bro. If I'm still in Gary, I'm going to that motherfucker for real. You better believe it. You better believe it.
Across the bridge.
I'm getting mine, son. I'm getting mine. Believe me.
I think it's a completely valid idealism. It's just that it's an idealism that's not going to be the case.
I'll say this much though, because I was thinking about it, and they actually do a version of that already though. And actually they did it with that casino. So what they do is when they were building it, a lot of times on a lot of projects they'll be like, okay, you have to hire 50%. It's typically 50%. 50% of the workers have to come from the area, and then another X amount of percent has to be as far as the subcontracting companies, like X amount or percent of them have to be minority owned, women owned. I know Chicago does it a lot, but I know that they did it with that casino too, because I remember the guy that I played football with. A couple guys I played with, they actually worked on that casino with their unions and all that stuff. Okay. And I know Chicago does it heavily because I know they're doing it with that Obama Center thing, where it's like 50% of the employees got to be from not only from Chicago, but like from that area of Chicago. So it's very specific. Now, are they maintaining that? From my understanding, it's very hard to maintain, because you might hire this guy from the right area. He comes to work. Dang, this dude actually sucks. Now we got to find somebody else.
Might not be qualified.
Yeah,
I just want them to not gentrify the fuck out of this as soon as it's done. That's my big like grievance with the Obama Center is why put this shit in the heart of Hyde Park?
Yeah.
Just to gentrify the fuck
What's
out
the
of it.
deal with that? I didn't
Yeah, I never heard of it.
So
it's a big project.
It's humongous. It's ridiculously big.
Yeah.
Because it's
There's like
probably about like
community center.
6 blocks. We're talking about the Obama Library.
Oh, library. Okay, I didn't know what it was.
You know, like every like past president gets like their own library somewhere, most likely in their like home state or whatever, or home city.
Okay.
And so they're building it off of Lakeshore Drive. You know where the Museum of Science and Industry is?
Yep.
So it's just a little bit further south than that.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't miss it. It's
literally it's gonna be like right next to it.
Yeah.
Because that starts at it's gonna start at like 57th and it goes all the way to 63rd.
Yeah.
So it's like by that hospital. It's like a hospital.
It's like
is it a kids hospital or something like that?
University of Chicago's over there too, right?
Yeah,
like,
University of Chicago's over there. Because it's just up 57th.
Jackson Park. That's where it is, basically.
Yeah. Jackson Park is a little southeast of that, but yeah, it's like right. But I don't know what that area is between Hyde Park and Jackson Park, but it's that because it's going down Stony Island.
Yeah. Yeah, like for that project, I already know rent is probably in that. There's apartments literally right across the street from it. I just know it's gonna go up. I mean,
it's inevitable.
It has to. Like
it's inevitable. And I don't live that far away from that, and I wouldn't be surprised if it affected me.
I was about to say that area has somewhat more cheaper, rents than most places in Chicago. A lot of places because it's the hood. So now, man.
And it's most places on the south side. The only place on the south side that's unreasonably priced usually is like that the 53rd Street part of Hyde Park, where all the businesses and shit are, is when they try to charge $1,600 for a 2-bedroom closet.
Yeah.
But everywhere else on the south side, especially the further south you go, we're not even getting into the what like west of 94, but everyone on the south side usually is not like that bad.
Yeah.
But I'm sure once that shit is done, that shit gonna be like 1,900 for a 2-bedroom that ain't got no space on it and ain't been renovated since 2003.
It's like my place. It's carpet.
You gotta be elite to have a Chicago house or any cities. Like gotta come with the money to live.
Anybody that owns their shit over there, they gonna benefit highly because their property value gonna skyrocket. But renters, nah.
Man, it's so tough renting because it's like it seems like every year your rent goes up. It's just inevitable.
Yeah, for a lot of places it does. But and the thing is, I got away with it at that fucking trap house that I was living in. Like I got away with them not charging me more because I was like, y'all better get the fuck out of here. But rent use, I found out the science of it. I don't remember it verbatim, but it's something like the property value changes every year or changes less than every year, but landlords can't change your rent in that time. So they up your rent in that next cycle to try to compensate for how it shifted while you were living there. The other side of it is they're not financially responsible for like making your apartment any better in that time. Even though on some old school New York shit, it used to be like every 3, max 5 years, they need to repaint and update all your appliances.
Oh, damn. Yeah, like, and that's what, like, because I'm about to unfortunately renew my lease here, and I'm about to ask people like, y'all got it? Are y'all doing any renovations? Y'all got anything planned, or y'all just upping the rent just because y'all feel like it? Right. Like, man, but
because you can make those kind of gripes that like at the minimum they should repaint your shit.
Yeah,
like give it a fresh coat. But
yeah, hey, come in this bitch and dust a little bit too.
Clean the carpet.
Come on. For real.
Or especially if you got old carpet, have them take that shit up and get and buff your floors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that's I'm sure our audience is so riveted by this particular part of the conversation. But that's enough. I think we're well over time. I know we are. But anyways, we appreciate y'all. We love you, fellas. Any last thoughts before we get out of here?
Man.
Don't play the plenty. Yo, don't play the penny slots.
Yeah, I agree, I guess.
And part of me hopes that those rumors about this Jake Paul fight are true, so I can laugh so much harder. At the same time, for a respectable fight, I do hope none of that is true, or that he ain't getting in here with pads and his brother. But otherwise, we love you, we appreciate you, and everyone that you connect with, dang it, I had it and I lost it. Every connection that you make, every person you
every breath you take.
Every breath you take. Every baby that you conceive, and every piece of brilliance that you conceptualize. We hope that you keep it vulnerable, keep it forthright, and do your giggity goddamn best to keep it honest. This is the Informally Honest Podcast. Peace.
Peace out.
On the next episode.
Peace, world.
Informally Honest Podcast.
Thanks for listening.
Four brothers from the Miller neighborhood of Gary, Indiana. Four brothers from the Miller neighborhood of Gary, Indiana.